Many thanks to Pandemonium, Fearless Rection Vanilla servers, Atlas, One Original DayZ servers, Clash Vanilla servers, Sheriff Line, Sauerkraut, Sgt. Pepper's DayZ Invasion server, PGZ servers, Waste Sea, Chinese Cream Vanilla servers, and Tequila for making this video possible. DayZ 1.24 comes with a new projectile called Cupid's Bow, a Valentine's Day event item capable of completely healing players. So in this video we're going to test out the first ever item to instantly restore our health, answer the many questions on our minds about this new bolt, and go over why this little bolt could be a massive stepping stone to one of the best features this year for DayZ. During the DayZ Valentine's event this year, and likely future years, the Cupid's bolt will be lootable, a pink projectile like any other crossbow bolt in DayZ that is obviously fired from the crossbow, but not so obviously benefits players when you hit them. For example, if your stamina is drained even by a flashbang, it will completely restore your stamina to 100% upon being hit and gives you the heat buffer stat too, but not if you're freezing cold, so even this cannot give you the heat buffer stat when you're freezing cold, which also gives no energy or hydration to us either. This is the first item in DayZ to restore health directly to players, so even if you're at 0.001 health, you can get full health by being hit by this crossbow bolt. It restores blood to us too, so full blood when you get hit by this, and removes all of your bleeds at the same time, and can even wake you up from unconsciousness, just like an EpiPen can. Leg fractures can be healed too, even if you don't shoot the leg, so you can shoot someone's arm to heal their leg, while restoring all of the other bones in your body too, including the deadly skull bone, making it the only item in DayZ to restore the skull bone, of which you can learn about in this video here. Other than restoring most of your stats to full, it removes sicknesses and diseases from you at the same time. I tested this against salmonella and cholera, it instantly removes them. Gas poisoning, it cures that. It cures stage 3 gas poisoning too, otherwise known as the Black Death, where you go unconscious in the gas. So this works like a pox injector, and Cupid's bolt can also remove Kuru from you. The most uncurable disease in DayZ can be cured now. While doing so, it also gives you full immunity to future diseases and sicknesses for 5 minutes, but only immune system related sicknesses such as the cold, the flu, salmonella and cholera, so it works a lot like eating a vitamin. The only statuses that are not cured by Cupid's bolt are bloody hands, the blinding and ringing effect of a flashbang, and you cannot undead players, infected or animals either. When launched, it goes quite far, quite quickly, and is reliable at hitting targets at around 50 meters away, having the same stats as a crafted feather bolt, so the stats are exactly the same here. Firing it into the air, you can technically cure yourself if you stand directly under it when it comes back down, as fired projectiles in DayZ can damage you, and in this case can heal you, but getting directly under it is extremely difficult. It's made more difficult by the fact that you cannot retrieve Cupid's bolts either when fired, as they do not stick into any surfaces like bolts do. So bolts you can retrieve, but Cupid's bolt you cannot, but they still do deflect off of surfaces. Now before you think about using an emote that can get you demonetized, there is a special piece of code that prevents this emote from triggering with Cupid's bolt only. All other bolts will allow you to F11, but Cupid's bolt inside the crossbow will not give you the option, so you cannot do it, and therefore you cannot self-heal this way. When fired at infected and animals, I was expecting something to happen, but literally the opposite occurred. Infected will not take damage, and neither will they get healed. In fact, they don't react at all. As you can see here, even though it's being hit and they do react and even make a sound, they're not getting attracted to this at all. Animals do react, but only passive animals react, as aggressive animals don't care if they're shot. And no, you can sadly not make aggressive animals become less aggressive or tame them at all. In fact, the bolt does nothing to their stats, so against infected and animals, this basically does nothing. If you want to find these bolts yourself, you can do so at hunting and Luna Park locations during the Valentine's event, which is also where you're going to find the Valentine's Day Mask 2, which was added last year, but the devs have suggested that this will only be on experimental, with the event ending on the 20th. This could hint at the release date for 1.24 being fully released on Xbox, PC and PlayStation, as they usually release stable patches on a Tuesday, which is the 20th. But if 1.24 is released before the 20th, and that's unlikely, we could see the bolt on stable official servers. But again, they said this is experimental, so this could be that Cupid's bolt is going to be on experimental forever and it's never going to reach stable servers. Now because this bolt was added to the game, we are one step closer to special types of bolts in DayZ, such as bolts that can one-hit KO players, bolts that inflict fire damage over time, or even poison or disease-tipped bolts that can cause status effects on players, because at the moment this bolt has status effects on it, the status effect of removing status effects and even restoring your stats. For the first time ever, we have a projectile that can inflict status effects on players. Before, fired projectiles only did damage. Now, this same code can be used to create a variety of bolts in the future, hopefully. If you have any suggestions for what types of bolts that you would like to see in the game, if they are going to go ahead with this, or you have further questions about this bolt for me to test, get them below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.